What's going on, YouTube? My name is Gene. I'm from Rochester, New York, and this is just going to be like an introduction type of video. I've had a YouTube account, channel, whatever you want to call it, for a couple years, but I've never really posted anything but just racing videos on it. So I guess I've been doing just like a little introduction video. So my car is a 2007 Nissan Altima 3.5 SE 6-speed manual transmission. Very hard car to find. This car has 233,000 miles, original motor, stage 2 Nisformance clutch, Nisformance tune, dyno tuned in North Carolina at Nisformance. Shouts out to Darren and Hector from Nisformance. It's Christmas. There's no snow on the ground, and I live in upstate New York, which is very, very rare, because usually there's a lot of snow everywhere. But the purpose of this video is kind of an informational video. I'm going to start posting just a little bit more. I'm going to give you guys a disclaimer now. I do not edit videos, nor will I edit any future videos. It's all going to be uncut, raw. What you see is what you get videos. I know some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, but my reason for doing this isn't to, I don't want to say for money or anything like that. I got a full-time job, so that's not the thing. I just don't have the time to edit videos and do all that other stuff, and I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know how to do any of that shit, so we're not even going to do it. You're just going to get raw, uncut videos. I'll try not to bore anybody with talking videos all the time, but this video is going to be a little bit of a talker, just because this is kind of, like I said, an introduction video to me, the car, I guess you could say the channel. But yeah, so my car is a 2007 Nissan Altima 3.5 6-speed manual. We're lowered on Tianj street basis coils. We have 350Z track edition rims, which I just put on yesterday, a little Christmas present to myself. This car started off a little rough. I bought this car about 2 years ago from a kid named Tyler in New Jersey. He was a young kid. This car was really, really a project car, and when I first bought it, I regretted buying it. I wasn't a fan of it. There was just a lot of things that were not to my liking. Now, previous to this car, I had two Nissan Altima SCRs. And before those, I had two Maximas. Yeah, I've had nothing but Nissan my whole entire life. Just a Nissan guy. It is what it is. I like other cars just like everybody else, but my personal preference is Nissan. It's always been Nissan. A little rub going on there. So, when I bought this car was just a normal 3.5. Aesthetically, there was things wrong with it. The back bumper was a little fucked up. The front bumper was messed up, and the paint on it wasn't that good. Now, me personally, going from an SCR, the 0506 body style, to this generation, which is the 4th generation Nissan Altima, going from that to this, I didn't really care for this generation of Altima until I kind of did a little bit of research. For those who don't know, this car comes with what's known in the front wheel drive VQ family as the HR, but just so we don't piss off HR owners, people also refer to these motors as the 2nd generation DE. So we'll go into that real quick. Pretty much what that means is this is a DE motor. This is not an HR. This is a DE with revised heads similar to an HR, which is why people refer to them as HRs. These motors are capable, a lot more capable when you fully bolt them. The benchmark that people shoot for is 300 wheel horsepower, but realistically you could be anywhere between 280 to over 3, depending on what your modifications are. Versus a 1st generation 3.5 DE, you can fully bolt them, but you're never going to see 300 wheel horsepower unless you throw a cam in it. I've seen dudes fully bolted, I think Kiss 290, but that's with a lot of modifications, which you really don't have to do with these motors. So enough about that, more about my actual car. This car started out, like I said, in New Jersey from a young kid named Tyler, 17 or 18 at the time, whatever. And I bought the car. I liked it. It wasn't as fast as I thought it was going to be, though. It was very depressing at first when I first bought this car, because my first real encounter with the HR second generation DE motor wasn't very eventful, and let me tell you why. This kid had an aftermarket intake manifold that you literally could have made. Took that manifold off, put the factory Ultima 3.5 manifold on, and immediately noticed the difference. From the low end to the top end, all the way around, it was just way better. Started throwing bolt-ons on it. We put the headers on it, custom exhaust, had a custom short ram intake at the time. We got a Stillen underdrive pulley, and when I first bought this car, it had a stage 3 clutch in it, which was very aggressive. Now, previous to this car, I've only dealt with one more car with a stage 3 clutch, and that was my first Altima SCR. And I loved it. It took time to get used to. It took time to get used to it, but once I mastered it, I loved it. So when I bought this car, it had the stage 3 clutch in it, and I wasn't, I liked it. It was cool, whatever. It had headers on it, but they were aftermarket. Obviously, all headers are aftermarket. They were junk eBay headers. They had cracks all through them. I took the headers off, had my buddy clean them up, weld up where the cracks were. They just kept cracking, so I said fuck it, and bought another set of headers from Manzo, which are pretty much eBay headers, but they're just a little bit better than your normal $100 stainless steel specials. So we did that. We did all the bolt-ons, and I upgraded to a Maxima 2009-2014 Maxima intake manifold and throttle body. What people don't know is it's slightly better, more airflow. The throttle body is bigger. This factory Ultima throttle body is 70 millimeters. The Maxima throttle body is 75 millimeters. Then I Then I switched up the intake. The intake setup went from short ram 3-inch to a cold air 3-inch, and that was after I went to Nisformans, because Darren had told me that in order to make good horsepower, the way I had it set up just wasn't going to cut it, and I had listened to him. There were a couple of things he told me to do that I listened to, and shouts out to you, Darren, because I paid attention, I listened, and the car is a lot faster than it initially was when I first bought it 2 years ago. Now, this car currently makes 301 front wheel horsepower with 271 front wheel torque. This car is not the fastest car in the world by any means, but for an Ultima, it's not bad. It's very fun. A lot of people locally and in the surrounding cities, Buffalo, Syracuse. My car is pretty much well known up here in upstate New York. I got a lot of friends downstate, which I'm on all the VQ pages on Facebook and all that other good stuff. So a decent amount of people know me and know my car. So I figured it was just time to kind of make an introduction on YouTube. Now, I apologize for this long ass video. Initially, I only wanted the video to be about 5 minutes long, but I kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown on the car. Future plans. We're in winter time right now, but there's no snow. It's Christmas Day, and there's literally no snow anywhere. I initially parked my car because I didn't want to drive it in the winter, but there's no salt, there's no snow or anything like that. So on beautiful days like today, I bring it back out and, have fun in it. I absolutely love this car. This car is very fun. It's a big sleeper. We run with a lot of cars that it shouldn't run with. This is a V6 front-wheel drive family sedan. It's not a Lamborghini. It's not a GTR or anything like that. But for what this car is, it's a fun car. It's not bad at all. But enough of me talking. I just wanted to get the video out there, kind of about me and about the car and what I'm about. And like I said earlier, we're not going to do any editing videos or anything like that. It's going to be straight, raw, uncut videos like this, but not this long, I promise you. The next video I do will be like a walk around video of the car and maybe a couple revs. This car is tuned through UpRev with the ARC, and what that means is it spits flames. That's all. That's literally what it does. This car spits pretty good flames, and it doesn't annoy me. This car's been tuned for about 7-8 months now, and it hasn't annoyed me then, and it doesn't annoy me now. I absolutely love how this car sounds. I'll give you guys a little something real quick. Hold on. It's a little something. Yeah, she spits flames. And no, it's not bad for your motor. Unlike other people will have you believe that if your car backfires, it's bad for your motor. It's not. No. If your car is tuned to do it, you're fine. If your car is backfiring without a tune, then you might have a problem. But my car is specifically tuned, and anybody who has ARC, your car is specifically tuned to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. So, like I said, my next video will be more about the car. You can't really see anything but me, and you can hear the car, but you can't see it. So the next video will be me actually kind of showing you around the car and stuff like that. And future videos will be racing videos. I want to hit the track up 2020. I want to do a couple things at the track. My goal is to run low 13s, and if I get low enough to where I feel confident I can run 12s, then we'll go that route. Darren had posted on the front wheel drive drag racing page the top 25 people who have the fastest cars, and from what I seen on that list, the fastest generation of my Altima runs a 12.8, so I will definitely be gunning for that. Not setting out to be the fastest car in the world, but you gotta have goals and stuff like that. So that's a goal that I want to do, is see how fast we can get the car running. But future plans for this car is an HLSD transmission setup, because it's currently a one wheel peeler. It's an open diff. From my recollection and my knowledge, these cars never came with a locking differential from the factory. Neither did the Altima SCR. So if anybody who's considering buying an Altima SCR, they don't come with HLSD from the factory, you're going to have to swap that in, which is what I'm going to do in this car. And the cheapest way you can do that is to use a central differential, because a central SCR spec V differential, to be 100% exact, because those all come with a limited slip differential. So that's the plan. Maybe a bigger intake, bigger exhaust. I want to do a little porting. Just want to unleash a little bit more power. My end goal is to run about 320, or as close to 320 as I can, front wheel horsepower, without putting cams in the car, because cams are crazy expensive, and in my opinion they're not worth the power gain that they give you for the amount of money that it costs. So that's going to do it for this video. I think I'm going to do a little something real quick. Alright, not even going to use that video. Oh shit, are we still recording? Oops. Well, there it is, guys. Like I said, it's uncut. What you see is what you get. That was a quick little first and second pull. I'm going to end the video now. Merry Christmas to everybody. Future videos coming. And hopefully you guys enjoy what you see. Like I said, it's going to be all uncut, all raw. And I promise you they won't be 15 minutes long. Enjoy your Christmas, everybody.